I'm Mushabe Generous. I'm the CEO, Mugtar Financial Services. We started way back in 2025, to be precise, in October. And we thank God for the fire has brought us. Maybe to give you a brief background about myself, I've done credit ever since I left campus. I've been doing credit, I've been working with clients, I've been giving out money, I've been in financial institutions, I've been in banks, and all I know is about money, banking, clients, loans. So that is how I got encouraged to also start my own business. Because I've been employed for so long, and I got encouraged by one of my friends called Barbara. She also runs a financial institution called Crex Credit. So I remember she was my supervisor, and when she left, I was so encouraged on how she was doing her things. So I was also enticed to also start my own business. So I started small in 2025 in October, and I think I'm not regretting what I did. I'm not regretting any action because I've seen my business grow from grace to grace, and I thank God. By the time we started, I was a one-man business. I was working alone. I was the manager, the credit officer, the salesperson. I was doing everything myself. I used to go to clients myself. I used to apply the loans in the system myself. Actually, we didn't have a system by that time. We used to do manual recordings. So I used to get the clients myself. I used to sell myself, work on the clients myself, upload them myself in the book. I used to do everything myself, but I thank God that I now have someone I'm working with. Originally, before we got SaveNet, we used to do manual records. I remember I used to carry so many books in my bag. I used to have, for example, I started with group clients, and you know how bulky that system is. I mean, I would have a separate book for each group. So I had something like 6 groups, and I would carry 6 black books in my bag each and every day. So it was somehow tedious. So I have a friend, like I've already told you, she also runs a SACCO called Crex Credit. She introduced me to this system called SaveNet. She introduced me, and she took her time to also teach me on the basics of SaveNet. And I liked it. It was simple, precise, easy to use, easy to learn. Even before I approached the person who installed the system for her, I'd already learned it. Yeah, it was so good to use, and it was also cheap. That's how I got introduced to SaveNet. First of all, it's very accurate. Secondly, it gives you information on time. For example, a client might bump into you and they want their balance. Instead of going to the book like I used to do before to check for the balance, the customer installment, SaveNet gives it to you clearly. The moment you click on what you want, it will give you clearly and on time. For example, sometimes clients come and they want their balances. They want to know how much they're supposed to be paying. They want to know how much is in arrears. They want to know how much is remaining. So SaveNet makes work very easy. And it has saved me on so many occasions. Yeah, I'm also concerning clients' balances, outstanding balances, arrears, and the savings. SaveNet has a number of features, but every morning I report on duty. More so like any other loans officer, like the work I was doing, I have to check the clients who are in arrears. I go to the loan section. I normally use the loan section to go to the loan listing to give me the clients who are in arrears, to give me the expired loans and see how to handle them, to give me the clients' balances. Then I also check on the dashboard. At least on a daily basis, I have to check on the dashboard to see what I've made, to see what I've disbursed, to see the income I've gotten, and everything concerning to see how many clients I have, to see how many clients are in arrears. I also use the loan management, the clients management app so much, because sometimes we have new clients who are applying for loans. So also normally that feature, and also we also get reports, most arrears reports, and sometimes clients also want schedules. So we normally use those features to get the clients' schedules and clients' reports. Let me say it in my local language. SaveNet no muzire. Anytime you want something, you can get it on time. Anytime you want any information concerning your client, concerning the loan balances, concerning anything, you can really get that thing on time. And it also helps you track your records very well. For example, the time I gave the client money, the time when the client is supposed to be paying, it helps you keep proper records. It keeps proper records. It keeps accurate information. It gives you accurate information as long as you have used it well to feed in the right information and everything concerning like client. Then you know to get any problem concerning your loan book. SaveNet has helped me to create a proper relationship with my clients. Originally, I was using books, recording my records in a manual, using a manual system. I was recording them in books. But these days, for example, today a client came, was asking about the balance, and he knew the balance offered. So when I input the money which I had paid today, and I showed him the balance on my system, he was very comfortable, and he thanked me for having reliable information. So clients are at peace. Because of SaveNet. At least when the client comes here and you show him how the loan is running, and after paying, you send the client an SMS, no magamba, you have paid this, the balance is this. They got comfortable with our system and with our SACCO. Because of the system that we are using. I also want to thank the Tricsoft staff, more especially Maurice and Prosi. At least every time there's something, every time you have a challenge, they are reliable. You can pick up a phone and you call, or you can send a message, because twin and a WhatsApp group. But communicating as Mugtar, and they're also part of that WhatsApp group. They've really been so helpful. They always help us in case there's a challenge with a client, in case there's a challenge with a system, in case there's a challenge with anything. They're always there to help us. Ever since I started using SaveNet, it has helped me a lot, more so on the day running of my transactions with my clients. So if I had a friend who is also doing the same business, I would gladly refer them to also use SaveNet, because it is user-friendly, it has accurate information, it eases work in all spheres of life, more so concerning loans, savings, and all that stuff concerning SACCOs. It is very simple and it is user-friendly. It is not expensive. It also helps capture expenses, our daily expenses, our monthly expenses, so you're very sure of what you've earned. For example, if I give the clients money, I know how much I've earned from the client, I know how much profit I've gotten from the client, I know how much expense I've spent, and at the end of the day, you can balance yourself very well. Then maybe if I can talk small about the before I started using SaveNet, it was a very big struggle. Because, for example, this was my book for individual loans. I used to carry so many books in my bag. You cancel here, you cancel there, you do what? It was so tedious. It was time consuming. But since I started using SaveNet, it has saved me a lot. I used to have personal loans and group loans. So every kind of loan used to have its own records. So which means that if you have so many clients or so many groups, take that files and I think SaveNet is also cost effective. Records every now and then. Yes, you take records, system. At least the system always guides you on ABCD concerning SaveNet. Era nkubiriza mikwano gyange bonna abali eyo abatanafuna SaveNet bamanyi muli bangi. I've always talked to you about SaveNet. SaveNet is very user friendly. Enane option ya mobile money. If a client wants to pay using mobile money, they can pay using mobile money. Send as feature dinga kubundi system yo direct. So if you have daily clients ngatabaga kujja mu office kusasula physical cash, they can use mobile money and the money is captured in your system. So banage mwina abali eyo baganda bangi mikwano gyange abali mu lending abalina SACCOs begayiride muje mukoseze SaveNet. It is user friendly, it is not expensive, it is cost effective. Buli kimu kyonna ekiri mu SaveNet. Ennaku ziyeze mabeganze nga nkwana records olusineka nenabya n'omuwandiika mbandyawo ngakera musimu yange ndabanga I disbursed money, I don't have any record about the client. But since I started using SaveNet as a system to help me and guide me, I no longer get shortages here and there.
Download the SaveNet app today. SaveNet, easy for you.